school football game of the week. Tonight from Memorial Stadium, it's the first round of the 3A West playoffs as the Ale Brown Warriors of Kannapolis host the Cougars from Asheville. Hi everyone, Woody Kane along with Randy Whitley once again, and two teams who have a pretty rich playoff history. This will be Kannapolis' 29th appearance in the playoffs. For Asheville, their 19th appearance in the playoffs, and it's been a while, but 4 years ago we know what happened when these two teams played.
Yeah, Kannapolis won that game en route to their state championship year with Nick Maddox, but that was a long time ago. It was a first-round game again, ironically, and here they are once more.
Well, a tale of two teams for Asheville, really.
They really are, Randy. They have had all of their losses on the road. In fact, of their 6 road games, they've only managed to win 2 of them, so a different team away from home, and this will surely be their longest trip of the year.
Memorial Stadium, not an easy place to come in to win against any caliber of a Kannapolis team.
Really not, but this Asheville team may be a little different than most folks are used to when you say smash mouth mountain teams. They do have that element, and we'll talk a little bit about that later, but they have a nice quarterback in Jordan Phillips. He's passed for over 1,100 yards this year. A good tall receiver in Michael Hines, 6'3". He catches a lot of passes, so they can do a lot of things.
And one other factor, while Kannapolis, maybe the fans and the general public might be saying, well, we don't see Asheville that much. Ron Massey and some of his coaching staff was seeing him quite a bit when he was Kings Mountain.
They know what this is all about, no question.
Okay, the first round, they say, is always the hardest. We've got a grade A table match for you coming up. Asheville and Kannapolis next. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium as we send the first round of the state 3A West playoffs starting tonight here at A.L. Brown. Kannapolis coming in with a 9-2 overall mark, while the Cougars of Asheville's record on the year 6-4. Earlier, Steve Gett caught up with the head man of the Cougars at Asheville.
Thanks, Randy. We're here with Asheville High Cougars coach Danny Wilkins. Danny, I met you about 2 years ago. We had the privilege of coming up to your place with Concord. A good night, a good football game, and you sent Concord home, so we know you're a heck of a coach.
Well, we've got a good program ourselves. We really respect what goes on in this neighborhood with Kannapolis and Concord, just the good football that's played in this area. And in our area, we are traditionally known as a pretty good football team most years, and so hopefully we'll show that tonight. We've got a lot of young kids. There's a lot of sophomores and juniors on our roster, and it's been growing pains a lot this year, but hopefully we'll show well.
Yeah. Well, 6-4 on the year, so I don't know who you've played, and I don't know who's beat you or who you've beat, but 6-4 is respectable. I know you could, wish it would have been better than that. But you made a 3-hour journey. How was the trip?
Trip was great. Stopped over at Fat Boys in Mooresville, fattened them up a little bit, hopefully not too much, and it was a great trip, and enjoyed it. I've never been to Kannapolis, so it's a treat for me, and I sincerely mean that. I've really enjoyed. I've been touring the gym and weight room facility and everything. Really nice place, and Coach Massey and all the folks around him have treated us so nice from the very beginning. 2 weeks ago, of course, we've been like a tennis ball back and forth what was going to happen in terms of the playoff brackets with the North Gaston deal, but it's been just a lot of fun. Talking with Coach Massey, I knew him when he was at Kings Mountain, and just back and forth the last couple of weeks on the telephone with him, meet him, and to exchange film over in Shelby and everything one Saturday, spend a little bit of time together. But he's a quality person, and I've just been really impressed with the hospitality here.
We'll appreciate that. Coach Wilkins, certainly not a newcomer to playoff football. I believe the 6 years you've been at Asheville, you've been in the playoffs 4 years and went deep each and every year. I think eventually winning or losing to eventual champion.
Yeah, it seems like for the longest time. I remember a very good Kannapolis team coming to our place in '97, and in fact, I believe that was a first-round game, and Kannapolis got the better of us there that night. But just a really good football game to watch.
The impressive stat I got to mention: 71 consecutive games without being shut out. That's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, we hope 72 tonight. I know we've been fortunate to have some good talent, good kids, good coaches, and everything through the years, and I hope we represent well tonight.
Coach, you made the comment, I can't quote it word for word, but you made the comment you got to play in your perfect ball game to beat Kannapolis tonight. Regardless of the score or the exception of the score, what stat do you have to win to walk out of here victory tonight?
The clock. The clock. They've got so many explosive people offensively. The winning formula for us all year has been ball control. If we can, and that presents itself with some problems when you play athletes. The quality of the kids here at Kannapolis, I've got to be able to. It's a fine line. I've got to be able to mix run and pass, and most importantly, keep the chains moving, the clock running, and hopefully points on the other end of all that. If we go 3 and out too many times tonight, it's not going to be a very pretty sight for us. We cannot allow their big play guys to get that many touches and get in a rhythm on us, or we're in trouble. We just don't match up speed-wise.
Okay, Coach, I want to thank you for talking to us. Again, welcome to Kannapolis. We'll let you get back to work.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, Randy, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Steve. As he had a chance to catch up also with what's going on as far as on the sidelines and in the heads of the Kannapolis players. He talked to one of the members of the coaching staff earlier as well for the Wonders, and these were his comments.
Again, Randy, we're here with assistant coach Jeremy Ryan with the Wonders. Coach, I don't have to tell you, when it gets to playoffs, everybody's good. You can't overlook anybody.
Well, that's the thing. We've had 2 weeks to prepare for these guys, so and the limited film that you do get to look at, you get as good a view as you can of the team you're playing, and it just comes down to executing on Friday night.
Well, being off a week ago and then a short week this week for holidays, how do you keep the guys focused? How do you just keep football pumped in their heads?
Well, you let them know from time to time that it's one and done this time of year. And, this is basically a tournament atmosphere, and we're just looking to get through it one step at a time.
Coach Ryan, a wise man once said, if you're going to do battle after a 3-hour journey, make sure the journey is that of the opponent. Tonight this happens for you. Do you feel like home field is an advantage?
We hope so. That's what we play for all year. And, that's the focus, is you win enough games during the year to host your first-round playoff game.
If I can remember back about 3 months ago, it seems like this is the first rain we've had in Cabarrus County in several months. I don't believe you guys have played on a wet field all year. Does wet field concern you?
Well, we're just going to execute, and Mother Nature take its course. There's really nothing you can do. Just try to overlook it and do the best you can.
And what do you know about Asheville? What's keys for them? What do you have to focus on?
I would executing our own offense and playing our brand of football and basically imposing our will on them, and we hope it just turns out okay.
They scored a lot of points, putting a lot of points on the board. You guys have been putting a lot of points on the board for the last several weeks. Do you look for an offensive battle?
I just look to win. I don't really care.
If it's 3-0, that's good enough.
2-0 will be fine.
There you go. Jeremy, we'll let you get back to work. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, Randy, back upstairs.
Okay, we have analyzed this and analyzed this as a very light rain starts to fall here at Memorial Stadium. Let's see what Woody thinks as far as the keys are.
Well, early offense, I really believe, is going to be one. You heard the coaches talking about ball control for Asheville. They're going to need to get some momentum going. They need to get some points on the board early. As long as they can stay here and hang around, they're going to get more and more confidence. Kannapolis, if they get the early offense, that could be like lighting the fuse on the rocket, and they can take off and run away. Next, we've got pace. You also heard the Asheville coaching staff talking about we've got to play ball control. The big guy in that effort will be Tyrus Notch right here, number 30. Randy, he was 250 pounds a year ago. Now he's 274. He is what my grandfather would call a big wad of thunder. Look at him go down there. Finally, we've got weather as you see the rain beginning to fall. Allison and Carter may be the guys affected most by that. Kannapolis, you see, they have a lot of great stats, but they need to be precise. They need to make cuts. They need to run precision routes to be effective. If it gets to be very, very wet and sloppy, that may slow them down a little bit and make that ball tough to hang on to. So that'll be something to keep an eye on all through the night.
Those are some of the keys as the fans continue to file in here to Memorial Stadium. Asheville and the Wonders of Kannapolis just minutes away. Back in just a minute. As we return to Memorial Stadium, the co-captains meeting at the center of the field. We'll go down there right now.
Captain Phillips, speaking Captain Carter for Kannapolis. Everyone else introduce yourself, okay?
Number 30, Carter Knox. For the Wonders, number 9, Terry Collins.
All right, fellas, the clock is official. It's a playoff game. If it ends in the tie, we'll play it off, okay? We'll call you green. We'll call you white. We have a flag. You need to come talk to me, okay? Do you understand? If for some reason it gets out of hand, green talks to green, white talks to white. You understand about the sportsmanship? Do you understand? Do you understand? All right, good luck. Silver dollar, tails, and a head. Phillips, call it in the air. If I drop it, we'll flip again. All right, here we go. Tails. Call it tails. As you can see, Captain Carter, it's the tails. You want the toss? You want to defer. Put your back to that. Captain Carter over here.
Moses offense will handle the football first as the instructions come from referee Lonnie Oakley on the field. Asheville, of course, won the toss, but will defer to the second half as the homestanding Wonders make their entrance, and it's kind of like the first game of the season, Woody. It seems like it's been a month since they've been involved in football, although it's only been 2 weeks.
Really, all kinds of wildness going on with a 3A bracket in terms of court battles and whatnot, and I think a lot of that stuff is going to be resolved in the off-season. It pretty much has to, because it got to be a wider spread situation than just the North Gaston case.
And
look at that.
Fireworks here, and that's affectionately known as Plumber's Perch. A guy built that several years ago, and what a way to see a ball game at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, that's right in the back of his house, so he just comes out, climbs up there, and watches the game. And for the fans looking at Asheville, years ago, the school system tried to put trees and fences and stuff to keep him from doing that, and he just kept building the perch higher, and they finally just gave up and let him have it.
We want to welcome everybody watching on Charter Cable Channel 21 up in the Asheville area. Glad to be sending you the feed of this game between the Cougars and the Wonders, and glad to have one of the guys who works for the Cougar TV network, Jared Amos, understand, one of our camera guys tonight. So glad to be hooking up with those folks tonight.
Right, and he's filling in for Dean Holmes, who's a little under the weather. He's been our normal camera operator at that spot, so we want to send get well wishes to DJ and hope he's back with us next week, and hope we have a game next week.
Yeah. Mercy sakes, the fireworks still going off across the fairway. They were ready for the 4th of July.
They were.
Then you see Drew Marr, the Wonder quarterback who's thrown for over 1,600 yards on the season, warming up on the sidelines. Nothing superstitious about him wearing lucky number 13 on his back. It'll be Chris Carter, the deep back, along with Andre Allison. As you see the smoke, you gotta have the special effects here. Hey,
Yeah.
why not?
My goodness.
And towing it off will be Clay Foster, the 5'8", 160-pound junior. There you see number 16, that is Carter on the right. 22 is another speedster, Andre Allison. They call him Touche.
Pretty much dangerous whichever one you decide to kick it to. I bet they try to kick it toward the sidelines away from those guys tonight, but you've got a couple of good ones up front in Peoples and Edwards as well.
Yeah, Coach Wilkins has seen it. There's the little pooch kick, and I believe somebody may have been offsides.
I think you're right.
That was in that no man's land. It's hard to keep. Most of the guys are within 10 yards, but you kick it in that 10 to 25-yard range, anything can happen.
And keep in mind, Randy, what a sign of respect this is to Allison and Carter. Asheville is basically saying, rather than let them touch it, we'll just as soon give you the ball at the 35 or 40.
And you got to take it 99 out of 100 times, because that's a great starting field position for your offense. Clay Foster will retee it, and we'll see if they go back. Meanwhile, everybody's moved up 5. A light rain, light showers, the forecast, about a 60% chance here tonight. Temperature at game time around 55 degrees. And negligible wind to speak of. As a matter of fact, the flags are limp around the stadium, so will not be a factor. This more of a line drive kick, one bounce, fielded at about the 26-yard line is Maurice Edwards, and he'll move out to the 35. Down on the coverage for Asheville, looked to be Charles Poore, one of the first guys there, along with others. Let's check out the Wonders offensive line.
Josh Barrier, 6'5", 220 pounds. Abercrombie, 6'3", 265, and a captain along that Wonder offensive line. Then in the backfield, you mentioned Drew Marr, Randy, 1,600 yards and 18 touchdowns to go with it. And remember, the first of the year, he was taking a little bit of grief, but he has really come into his own and played well. And I think if you asked any coach around, if you'd take an average of over 100 yards a game off your quarterback's arm, he'd take it.
Sure. And breaking loose and across midfield, brought down from behind to the 46-yard line is Maurice Edwards, tackled by Tyrell Grant, one of the defensive backs.
And you know, people kind of forget about Maurice Edwards, Randy. Allison and Carter get all the headlines, but man, he has really been steady all year for this team. And remember in that South Moran game, the big halfback pass he threw that broke the thing open.
He's got 400 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns on an injury-interrupted season. So on first down and 10, they'll bring Allison in motion. Play fake. Here's Marr out to Allison, one-on-one, and he can't get out of the grasp. A good open field tackle right at midfield for a loss. Coming up and making a fine play was Michael Hines for Asheville.
Hines, the leading receiver for Asheville, so you'll be seeing a lot of him tonight. It looked like there was room out there. You leave this three-man front on the Wonder defensive line. Chad Keller there, 215 pounds and a senior, and he will be in on a lot of plays tonight.
So back them up to midfield. It'll bring up second down and 14 as we played a little over a minute here at Kannapolis. Wonders with the ball first. Will slot Allison way out as the lone wide receiver. And a quick toss to Edwards, trying the left side, gets a block at the line of scrimmage, and we'll get back to about the original line of scrimmage, maybe a little further, down near the 45-yard line.
Pretty nice block out front that time, Randy, by Carter.
Asheville did a good job at containing, stringing it out, and limiting the damage.
Well, here you go. This is where Allison and Carter become very dangerous.
Allison split to the bottom of your screen. They will send number 10, that is Charlie Fox, wide to the top. And with that, Marr will call a timeout. Doesn't like what he sees. And they don't have far to come to the sidelines to talk to the coaches. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the Cougar defense, how they'll shake out.
Jonathan Haynes there will go both ways tonight. He and Tolbert, the seniors along that defensive line. And you look at their backs and their secondary players for that Asheville defense. They have been a fine defense all year. And Kevin Mapp, the leading tackler on this team, in on over 120 tackles this year. So number 34, a player to watch tonight.
I just wonder how many different colored umbrellas are in the stands tonight. Here's Coach Ron Massey. He's kind of high and dry up there, and that has become his perch, so to speak.
Yeah, well, he's got a good seat now, staying dry. That's right. That's smart.
On third down and 9. Out of the shotgun. Marr with some pressure, sets the screen up, hits Allison, sidesteps one guy, breaks another tackle, breaks another, spins for the first down to the 35-yard line. 3 or 4 Cougars had a chance to get him, but there's the difference in that speed and that elusiveness of Andre Allison.
Yeah, pretty much just a little flanker screen here, Randy. They come back, let the rush come in, hit Allison there. Look at that. He hopped 5 yards and just making people miss going downfield. That is why he is so dangerous.
Allison, the leading receiver on this team, now has 42 on the year to go along with his 8 touchdowns. So Kannapolis picking up their second first down of this drive. Quick toss to Edwards out of the backfield. He'll slash for about 2 off the right side. Over there defensively for the Cougars, Michael Hines wearing number 2. Hines, a 6'3", 176-pound junior. Watch it again.
And watch it just come up and make the play right in the gap, exactly where he was supposed to be.
Excellent tackle. Only a 2-yard pickup. It'll bring up second and 8 for the Wonders as they approach the line of scrimmage. And it looks like who we got in the backfield is the lone setback. Is that Rock?
I think it's King, isn't it?
Maybe Dale King. Okay, it is. And he will get the football, and nobody touches him. He's off to the races down near the 21-yard line. First down, Wonders. It was Tyrell Grant finally dragging him to the ground.
You saw all the umbrellas coming out, and that's when you want to go to the fullback, Randy. Look at this. You know everybody has to be thinking, when's Carter going to touch it? When's Carter going to touch it? He hasn't yet. They've gone to King, and they've gone to Edwards, and they've gone to Allison, so they've got to kind of be thinking, when is it coming?
It's first down and 10. Wonders line it up at the Asheville 21-yard line. Opening drive of the game, and they will toss it. Here's Carter. Slips a tackle. He'll score. Touchdown, Kannapolis.
I guess it's coming now.
And the cannon shot. 18th touchdown on the year for senior Chris Carter.
And the key was breaking that tackle, Randy. Looks like coming up to make a shot on him there was Caldwell right there, 59, but Carter just able to fight his way through it to score.
1,066 yards coming into tonight's game, or through the regular season. Rushing it adds a little bit more.
Boy, they still got more fireworks going off now on Plummer's Perch. I hope he doesn't think he's going to light something off every time somebody scores.
Adam Deloney.
That They call the fire department out here, even in the rain.
Thank goodness we're getting a little rain here, but I don't know if there's a burning ban in the county.
Yeah, maybe they're relaxing a little bit tonight since we're getting some wet weather.
They may have a fire marshal up there watching it.
Okay, a little bit of confusion. Look at that, in the rain, and now it just finally ends. Boy, it's starting to come down, isn't it?
A lot heavier on TV with the cameras than it actually is, but it is definitely a little stronger than it was, say, at the start of the game. The Wonders move it 65 yards in a little over 3.5 minutes. The final 21 carried by Chris Carter. Now out of the hold of Marr, it will be the attempt by Deloney. His kick is up, and it's good. We've got 8:24 remaining, opening period. Wonders take their first position and jump out on top, 7-0. Back to Memorial Stadium after this. Welcome back to Kannapolis' Memorial Stadium. Wonders have jumped out, but Asheville's offense has yet to see the football. And we'll see what Coach Danny Wilkins can do here. Looks like Brian Jones, one of the deep guys for the Cougars, along with Michael Bird. Chase Louder kicks it away. Down at about the 5-yard line. This is Maurice Peak, wearing number 20.
No, it was 36.
36, okay, Michael Bird. And let's take a look at the starting offensive lineup. First for Asheville, their offensive line.
And Matt Howe, we've got highlighted there, Randy, may be the only guy in the game bigger than Knox. He's 287 pounds. Jordan Phillips, the quarterback we mentioned, 1,100 yards passing for him and 10 touchdowns on the season.
Out of the I formation, quick toss right side and breaking it for 5, maybe 6 yards that time. Very good run that time on first down by Marcus Peak, and you like those 5 and 6 yards, almost 7 that time on first down. You'll take that to the bank every day.
Boy, just look how big Knox is back there, Randy. Good gracious, is he a load?
Yeah. They split Hines and Freeman as the wideouts from the I on 2nd down and 4. And it'll be the big fullback rumbling for a couple. Tyrus Knox, 262 pounds. And a senior.
He was up to 274 at one point, Randy. Let's take a look at the defensive line for the Wonders. You see Keller there, 215 pounds. He will be in on a lot of plays tonight, as we mentioned a moment ago. Josh Reeves and Andrew King back there, the only juniors on that defense. The rest, all seniors. That leads to experience for the Wonders, and that is why they are where they are.
Third,
at least part of the reason.
Exactly. It's 3rd and a short 2. They move the tight end over on the left side. That's McElworth. And Al Phillips will hand it to the tailback and met and stopped short of the first down by Josh Reeves. He guessed tailback and he guessed right that time.
Well, that's exactly what you want the linebackers to do, Randy. Read, shoot the gap, and shut the play down. He did exactly that. Watch 5 coming through. Right there. Perfect.
Right at the line of scrimmage, and that
looked like McElreath, the tight end. It was his responsibility to pick him up, and you saw he had gotten spun around, and Reeves just went right in behind him.
Now the special teams unit just now coming on for the Cougars. I don't believe Kannapolis, well, they do have Allison back. They didn't believe it. They were going to punt there for just a minute. No pressure, and Matt gets off a kick that will angle, takes a couple of bounce, and now Allison will pick it up at the last minute, and that's suicide as the Cougars were down there. Just take your pick. Well, I'll say Anthony Lynch was the first one there, but that's, well, you better hold on to it if you do that.
You better not blink when Allison's in the game, because that's a dangerous play, but he legitimately thinks if he's got that little bit of a seam, he can take it to the house, as Coach Massey looks on high and dry.
And he'll send his offense onto the field, and let's see what kind of adjustments Coach Wilkins and the Cougar defense have made here.
You know, I wonder what Coach Massey's record is when he's up top, because it seems like every time he goes up there, they win, doesn't it?
They could be undefeated up there, I don't know. 26-yard line. They try to get outside. Edwards sidesteps one tackle, and too many white and red shirts in the vicinity. Cougars continued on the corner that time and did a good job.
And I really think Randy Mapp was the guy who busted that play up. He didn't make the tackle, but he made Edwards have to stop to get around him and help arrive.
Our crack panel of statisticians thinks that Coach Massey is undefeated.
And we got an army of them, too. We spared no expense for our crack staff.
From the 25, a loss of 2 that last play. It's 2nd and 12. Quick toss. This is Carter, who was in motion, looking for a block on the corner, and we'll get back to about the original line of scrimmage. Asheville, once again, with some good pursuit on the corners to seal and contain that play.
Looks like it might have been, well, let's check it out and see who it was. But this is just a little toss sweep. You're trying to use the speed to get into the corner here. But nice pursuit down the line. They all get there. You're right, Randy, a bunch of white jerseys.
I believe Michael Hines, number 2, was the first guy to make contact, slowed him up for the help to arrive. Wonders now with 3rd and 10 from the 27. Carter is split out along with, you've got 3 out here to the right side. Here's Mara, drops it off, and Edwards was looking to run up, turn upfield, and bye-bye, but didn't haul the football in.
Wonder if maybe the wet football may have had a little something to do with it. You mentioned it's not raining very hard, Randy, but it doesn't take a whole lot. It almost looked like Mar bobbled a little bit on the snap that time.
So with 4:41 to go in the first period, Kannapolis will be forced to punt it away for the first time. Jordan Phillips, the quarterback and the punt returner for the Asheville, is back standing inside his 35-yard line.
That was close to a block.
And it will go out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. So the Cougars with good field position to start their second series on offense.
Well, Anthony Lynch, the linebacker on that last play, Randy, almost got to the ball.
Daniel Smith trying to kick it away from Phillips, and he did a good job. He wanted a little bit more distance. Hey, we've been getting some great response on our website, and thank you folks for being interested.
We've had some good questions as well. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we go on, but check it out. There's a new message board there. Looks very nice.
On first down, Phillips keeps it, fake to the fullback, and he'll go off the right side for about 2 near the 44-yard line.
That's when Phillips is dangerous, Randy. He can do a lot of things, has a nice arm, and can run.
Not your super athlete, but just knows how to win, and is a very good athlete.
Well, that's what Coach Ron Massey was telling us about him on Headliners. He said the guy may not have the strongest arm in the world or the quickest feet in the world, but he makes plays, and he called him a winner.
On 2nd and 8, they'll have 2 receivers out to the big side. Quick toss this time. Fullback or tailback going to throw it. Behind the coverage is Hines, and he's got it. Inside, down near the 5-yard line. Bird threw the football. They sucked everybody up for Kannapolis on defense, and that enabled Michael Hines to get behind the coverage.
And Bird, only a freshman, he joined the team after a great JV year, and look at this, disguises it pretty well, but Hines with some great speed getting behind the coverage.
You got to pay attention. Hines, 46 catch on the year, and he's caught 8 touchdown passes. So here come the Cougars knocking on the door. First down and goal at the 5-yard line. Power I formation as they line it up behind Phillips. Tailback stopped after maybe a couple of yards.
And they're going to give credit again there to Josh Reeves, and you'll be hearing his name quite a bit tonight. But you get down in here, Randy, and look at that. Just follow the fullback right in the middle there. But Kannapolis did a good job to stack that one up. I think down here you're going to see a couple of carries from Mr. Knox, number 30.
He, of course, is the fullback. 2nd and goal at the 3. There's the line shot. And there's what Woody was talking about. He got a nice little seam, chips into the end zone, and the Cougars are on the board.
How can a 270-pound guy jump like that?
Get ready for track season, the high hurdles maybe.
Wow. You expect him to just kind of lower his shoulder and try to run over somebody, but look at that.
Well, they were all down on the ground, so he says, I don't have any other place to go. So now they are an extra point away from tying this game. Good snap, the spot, the kick is up, it is long enough and through the heart. We have a new ball game with 2:46 remaining. Opening period, it's tied at 7. The option pass coming from their tailback position to your leading receiver gets you down to the 5. The Cougars able to punch it in and tie this game, Woody, and they executed it perfectly on the pass, drawing the defensive backs from Kannapolis up. Foster with a little pooch kick, and who's going to take it out about the 25-yard line. Out to the 33-yard line is Jonathan Peoples.
Let's take a look at Randy again at that touchdown. And Knox, as we mentioned, 260, 270, somewhere in that neck of the woods. But man, that is. Would you want to go in the air and beat him like that?
No.
Me neither.
Unless I was riding a rhinoceros or something, maybe.
That might help.
Hippo or something, or elephant.
Exactly. As Marr leads the Wonders out, let's keep an eye now on Andre Allison. And he's being covered down at the bottom of your picture by Tyrell Grant, and he is getting almost a 10-yard cushion as Allison, but you've got to give him that much space.
They try the middle this time. Out to the 36, 37-yard line goes Dale King, who's got about 350 yards rushing on the season. Doing all the dirty work. Those fullbacks don't get a lot of the praise, but they're there to block and get those assignments.
Well, the fullback is a lot more effective, Randy, on any team when you've got athletes like Kannapolis does, where you can stretch the field and open things up in that middle a little bit for them.
They send Edwards in motion, take the toss, come back the other way to Carter, and a great tackle coming in to trip him up before he got underway. Jermaine Williams got in the backfield, just got an ankle, but that's all he needed that time.
And he made a great play because Carter had a lot of room had that not happened. You see the fake pitch there and just dives through and gets that ankle.
Good play. And a loss back to the 35-yard line. So it sets up Kannapolis 3rd and long again as the Wonders will send Allison wide. You'll have Edwards and there's him at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, and no defender. He's not even in the picture. He's so far off of Allison.
Now they'll slot out Carter.
Look at that.
Over the middle, he's got Allison, 45. Midfield, first down Wonders down to the Asheville 48-yard line. And boy, did Drew zip that pass.
And that makes it so easy for a guy like Allison, Randy. All he's got to do is make you think he's going to go deep, run you off with his speed, stop, cut back toward the middle, right there in the seam, and you've got to respect him or he will run by you. So that's why he'll find himself open in those seams quite a bit.
Obviously, Allison has made an adjustment on the defense. 3 of 4 in the passing department, 25 yards so far for Drew Marr. First down, Wonders at the 48. They fake the toss. Now he's going to throw under pressure. Gets it off somehow and incomplete. He was lucky he didn't get sacked back there. Anthony Caldwell was all over him, but just couldn't get him.
And Marr did a nice job to try and step up and still deliver the ball, but too much traffic for him to try to get through. This could easily have been a turnover, but actually, Randy, the first guy there looked like, I may have led you astray, looked like Butler probably was the first guy there, the linebacker.
Yeah, Caldwell was giving a pretty good push. They double-teamed him on the outside. That sets up 2nd and 10. Make the toss, come back to left side. Here's Edwards busting out into the secondary with the cutback. Inside the 20, 15, 10, 5, spinning, still on his feet. Touchdown. Maurice Edwards would not give up on that play.
How did he get away?
I thought definitely they hit him at the 5-yard line.
He thought so too because he cut sharply that way to try and outrun the pursuit. And he did. Watch him here. Fake, come right back up in the middle and watch him make some cuts. Here's another one. And now watch him go toward the sidelines and try to get away from Grant. And then he does. My goodness, what balance the Wonder offensive players have shown a couple of times tonight downfield.
Maurice Edwards with his 6th rushing touchdown of the season. And the Wonders have jumped back out on top. Deloney's kick is up and good. quick first quarter, but we got 21 points on the board here. 38 seconds left to go, Woody.
Well, it's not so much that the Kannapolis players, Randy, are just running by the Cougars. It's that they're making moves to make defenders miss. You expect the speed. We've all talked about that. But watch the moves here. Look at that. There's one. There's another move. Here comes another move. And then this spin move at the end is just something to behold. I don't know how he kept his balance here, but a great play.
Tyrell Grant with some speed to catch him. He thought he had him. I think Tyrell thought that too, but Edwards would not be denied. He's one of those.
He is the unsung hero, Randy. You know, back when they had all their injuries going on at the first of the year, he was a steadying influence for this team and really just kept his head down and played hard and kept his team in games.
And one of those guys who got injured in the exhibition games, and he was battling with Drew Maher for the quarterback position. So,
right, it is the backup, and we saw him, as we mentioned, throw a halfback pass for a touchdown against South Rowan earlier.
He looked pretty good at that too.
Yeah, he did. He threw a strike.
It's nice to have the luxury of a guy who's used to throw the football around. Chase Louder to kick it off for the Wonders. And we are already getting the signal from the officials. This one will go deep. At about the 5-yard line. Brian Jones will bring it out. I think Peoples came running through. Jonathan Peoples, there was a green blur on your television screen. He just barely touched him, but that's all it took.
He flew through the air with the greatest of ease and got a hand on him, Randy. The sophomore Peoples comes down and is able to knock him off his pins right when he was trying to make his cut. Fine play.
So not the best of starting positions for the Asheville Cougar offense. They'll work from their own 17-yard line. Probably the final play here in the first period. The smoke's still here, folks.
They lit off more fireworks after the score.
Right, that's right. I don't think South Carolina's got any left, do they? Rumbling out to the 25-yard line. That'll get you about 8 big yards. And Tyrus Knox.
He's a little slow to get up, Randy. Now, he missed the last game. He had an ankle injury and the flu, and he may have tweaked that ankle again.
Yep, there you see him, a little gimpy coming up, and that's not good news for the Cougars.
Of course, that game that he missed was now 2 weeks ago because of the off week in the 3A West, but let's see if we can tell what happened here at the end of the play. Looked like he may have tripped over a Kannapolis player who was on the ground and just turned his ankle as he was trying to step past him.
It is so hard to play through injury, especially in that area. On 2nd and 2, they go to the fullback and out across the 30 to the 31-yard line. His replacement, Jermaine Williams, out to move the sticks.
And just attack in the middle of that Kannapolis line with a 3-man front. The linebackers on either side almost like defensive linemen as well, but just going right at them.
That's the end of the first period here at Memorial Stadium in Kannapolis. It's the homestanding Wonders up on the Cougars of Asheville, 14-0. Whitley along with Woody Kane and the Metro production staff back on hand here. Glad to be bringing you the game this week, the first round of the 3A West. And the Cougars on first down go off the right side near the 35-yard line. Jermaine Williams with another carry.
And 3 times right at the middle.
It's kind of like a bombing raid. You just kind of keep pounding them there. Maybe something will open up. Of course, we know number 2 right there, Hines, with some speed. As we look at the elements, it is nice to see rain.
We need it, but I'm sure everybody kind of wishes it would hold off for another couple of hours.
Phillips with the toss to his tailback. Sliding off the right side, not much room. Michael Bird.
He and Shannon Blackman just butted heads down there, and both of them kind of fell away.
Like 2 big rams going at each other, wasn't it?
Man, Bird, we mentioned the freshman called up from the JV team after a great year there. Watch this. Watch him lower his head. Ow. Wow.
Better check for cobwebs real soon.
I'm telling you what now.
Yeah, that looks like the Mountain Dew spot.
I don't know how these kids do what they do sometimes.
Well, wasn't a bad play. 3rd and 5. This is kind of that in-between. And Phillips to the air, trying to draw him in. Flushed out of the pocket, now running, looking upfield, throws, overthrown. Double coverage that time, coming across the field. Michael Hines drew a lot of attention. And Phillips just had to dump it.
Alan Alan Clark, the guy, Randy, who came from right in the middle of that Wonder line, was the one who flushed Phillips out. Watch 61 come through right here. You saw Phillips sees him, has to scramble here, try to get the ball off. Also got some help from Shannon Davis there, one of the linebackers, but stopped them on fourth, stopped them on third, leading to fourth.
Kevin Mapp, the 5'10 junior, back to punt it, standing at the Asheville 25-yard line. Does he punt it to Allison? That is the next question to be answered here. They're going to kick it away from him. It hits and takes a wonder roll, or not a roll, but kind of a bounce, caught in midair, and Annapolis will have their fourth offensive series starting just over their own 39-yard line. Well, if the local boys continue to win, we will have headliners again Wednesday night. If not,
think positive. Somebody's going to win. That's one of our local teams.
That'll be at 8 o'clock live in our studio. We'll have whoever's left.
That pretty much narrows it down. That's right. Whoever's left, we'll have them.
Coaches and teams to be announced later.
Might just be me and you gnawing on that last turkey leg.
Oh, yeah. I'll get one of those Madden turkeys, I want to tell you. Flags are down. And so is Rock Johnson, who's checked in the backfield for the first time for the Wonders.
Let's see what it's going to be all about. Likely against the Wonders, and it is. Rock Johnson gives Kannapolis that kind of smash mouth element as the referee, Lonnie Oakley, talks it over with Mapp about what they want to do.
Rock was hurt a lot of the year, still managed to get over 200 yards rushing on nearly 35 carries and about 3 touchdowns. There's the holding call, and now obviously they're going to accept that one. That'll change field position back a little bit.
Well, you saw the success earlier that Dale King had from the fullback spot. When you got guys like Allison and Carter, as we mentioned, who stretch the field, then you slam it up in there with a 250-pound fullback, you're likely to be able to gain a few yards.
And, of course, the holding call from the point of foul, so back to about the 32, 33-yard line. It'll be 1st and 17 as Marr and company break the huddle. The quick toss will go to Carter. Gets a block, gets around the corner. He's got 10 yards. He's got 15 out of bounds. First down Wonders at the Asheville 49-yard line. And he made it look so effortlessly.
Well, you had Brandon Butler, one of the linebackers, shooting through. He read the play, but it almost looked like he overran it. One of the Wonders was able to get him on the ground. Watch this. Right there, Rock Johnson put him down, and that sprung Carter.
Until Hines able to get him out of bounds.
Carter kind of skids to a stop there like he's surfing or something.
From the eye. Receiver down to the short side of the field. Here's Marr. They'll go with Carter again. Picking his way, and you get an idea of what it's like to be on that field. You can hear it.
Randy, I grew up watching a lot of Dallas Cowboys and Washington Redskins football. One of the things that used to amaze me is how Roger Staubach would always wait till the last minute as one of the Asheville players is down. Wait till the last minute and duck, and the Redskins would collide with each other. Watch him dive through, and the Asheville players will hit each other. I don't know how he got through there. There wasn't enough room to slide a piece of paper in there.
Obviously, a lot of bells rung, and we've got a shaken up Cougar right now and a break in the action. A timeout on the field. We'll take one as well with 9:17 left in the first half. As we return to Memorial Stadium here in Kannapolis, 43-yard line of Asheville is where the Wonders set it down. Second down at about 5, they'll slash off the left side down to the Asheville 41-yard line.
Can Rock Johnson slash?
He can do anything he wants to, that size.
he just lowered his head and dove into people down there, make the pile fall his way. That's classic fullback running.
He's almost, he can roll, I guess, you know. Kind of like a big rock.
You can almost hear somebody go, oof, as he laid his shoulder to their belly going through.
The Rock does what he wants to.
That's right.
The Rock. The Rock has spoken. 3rd down and 3. They'll have a first down. Sliding to the right before Michael Balonis make the tackle as Carter.
Boy, Chris Carter just gets in the seam so quickly on the little trap there. He comes back through, and he doesn't hesitate, Randy. When he sees that seam, he's got a couple of more gears he can go to and get through it.
So the Wonders pick up their 6th first down of the first half, and they'll work it from the 37-yard line of Asheville, leading 14-7 with 8 minutes to go in the first half. Marr Carter sidesteps one guy, trying to outrace him to the corner, and he does get it partially turned. Didn't get quite squared up because he had some pretty heavy-duty guys leading the way. Craig Johnson was chasing him. And it looked like Jonathan Haynes over there as well.
Matt was the first guy through who made Carter take a little bit of a longer path to get around him, but he didn't stop him. And check out the block here coming through. I think it's Pappas, 82. Oh, look at that. Actually, it was 66 at the end who got blocked. Craig Johnson.
Tyrell Grant able to slide him out of bounds, but not before they picked up 6 on the play. From the 31-yard line, single set, play fake, Marr to the air with all day to throw. Over the middle, hits Allison Oakland on the slant. He's got the corner and he's got the end zone. Andre Allison.
He just crossed in the middle of the field with a tight end, Wayne Savoy, Randy, and even though all of the 3 defenders in that area went with Allison, Marr was able to thread it through there. Savoy was all by himself headed toward the sidelines wide open. Look at 81 right over here. He's going the other way wide open. It looked like you also had downfield open a little bit further was Daniel Smith, but Allison can take it to the house, and oh my goodness, coming back.
Yep, they're going to take it off the board and somebody downfield. So take 6 off.
The play a little long to develop because you had receivers running from one side of the field to the other. Marr had to wait for that, and one of his guys got too far down.
So you get the loss of down plus the penalty, and you lose 6 points. Boy, that's just a severe penalty, isn't it? That's a backbreaker.
Well, we may see that play here again.
From the I formation, Edwards bumps into his own man trying to go forward down near the 34-yard line.
He was trying to follow his blocking, Randy, and it was kind of clogged up there, and most of the time guys bounce it toward the outside. He bounced it back toward the middle and found some room.
Let's watch it again here.
Watch him here. He's following. This is the touchdown on the crossing pattern, and boy, you see a lot of Kannapolis receivers open downfield. Johnson signaling touchdown, but the interesting thing there, Randy, is almost all the Asheville defensive backs went with that guy.
Well, keep an eye on him here on 3rd and 6. Now give it to Carter. He's trying to get some room, and Asheville is at home and waiting, and there's a late flag dropped in the defensive backfield, back at about the 27-yard line.
You had a little bit further downfield, Josh Barrier and I think Anthony Lynch were kind of pushing and shoving each other down the field.
And that's a dead ball foul.
40 and 52, and the Asheville players are reacting like they think it's against Kannapolis.
Yep,
it is.
There's the clip.
And you hear what the fans think of it. Of course, Coach Wilkins likes it. Matt likes it. And the referee, Lonnie Oakley, will go over his options.
Hey, they want to take the yardage.
Yeah, this needs to be a field possession type game for Asheville, but Kannapolis has some people who can really hurt you, Randy, even from this far.
All the way back to the Asheville 48-yard line. Well, the penalty is the rain intensifies somewhat as we peer in on the coaching box up there. Head coach Ron Massey atop Memorial Stadium. There you see the number of penalties. And actually only 35 yards and a half. Boy, it's hurt him.
Yeah, it has. But Asheville, Randy, just looking at their stats, has been penalized about 1 time more per game than the opponents almost.
Well, let's see if the Wonder offense has a 3rd and 20 play. They've called a timeout. 6:45 left in the first half.
Carlton Bailey, linebacker for the New York Giants.
It takes hard work and a commitment to make it in the pro. And that means training. Training. And more training. My dog Tyreek needs training every day. It's up to me to keep my dog well trained so that he's well behaved in public. Sit.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium as light showers and rain falling here and needless to say we haven't had about an inch of rain in the last 2 months, so this field could take a lot of water. On 3rd and 20, Marr with a play fake, looking sidelines, got a receiver wide open and he overthrows Mr. Carter.
But he did have Charlie Fox on the opposite sideline who had gotten behind the defender by at least 2 or 3 steps.
So the
Another
receivers
flag, another
were
flag.
open. Well, let's see what this flag's about.
Same thing, ineligible man downfield.
I think Marr just kind of, his eyes lit up when he saw Carter that wide open down the sidelines and just put a little too much juice on it. So it'll force the Wonders into a punt situation here.
Yeah, this time the Cougars won't take the yardage. They say give us the ball.
Daniel Smith will come on for Kannapolis. To punt it away, he stands back at about his own 40-yard line. And the D-back, Jordan Phillips. At around the 10. No pressure, they set for the return and a line drive kick. Phillips calls for a fair catch and will make it. Boy, just a step inside the 10, and that's kind of that in-between zone. You're taught maybe to let those go in.
Well, the reason I was wondering, Randy, is it was a line drive kick fairly well right at him, and he had about 10 yards to the nearest Kannapolis defender since it was a line drive kick, and that may have been a call from the sidelines to take the fair catch there, because he did have some room if he had chosen to run it.
Well, one thing you're looking at, you got 6.5 minutes to go, you're only down by 7. Maybe don't take a chance, don't beat yourself, and that's why Jordan Phillips, he says, well, I'll give me some help out here, the rest of the offense. They'll toss it to the tailback. Tried to cut back and hemmed in and stopped. Marcus Peak couldn't get away that time from Antoine Norris. Norris got a hold of him up top, kind of slashed him around a little bit.
And look at that. They're splashing when they're high-fiving. Watch Norris right in the middle of your picture. He'll come through, fight off the block, and boy, it just took too long for Bird to decide which way he wanted to go, Randy. He made a couple of cuts before he ever got to the line of scrimmage, and Norris just... that gave him too much time to fight off the block and get through. And it looked like, I think, Knox came back in on that last play. Yes, he is out there. So they probably retaped that ankle, and he's ready.
Second down and 11 at the 9-yard line. Here's Phillips to the air, going deep. Single coverage on Hines and almost picked off. No flag. Terry Collins back deep for the Wonder coverage.
Boy, and he was stride for stride. He was practically part of Hines' jersey out there. Or no, it wasn't Hines, check it. It was Freeman, yeah. Watch him here. Watch 9. I mean, he is all over the receiver. That's about as good as you can do it right there.
Now it puts the Cougars in somewhat of a hole here, back at their 9-yard line, 3rd and 11. As you take another look at Collins over on the secondary.
You heard Coach Wilkins, Randy, talking about 3 and out was his big concern.
Jordan Phillips to the air again. Sideline pattern. Boy, there's a lot of folks over there. And incomplete. He was trying to hit Hines that time, but Robert Clark says, not on my field.
And there was double coverage out there that time. They know who they've got to watch and keep an eye on, and now the Wonders are going to, in all likelihood, get some pretty good field position. I think this is the, second straight 3 and out for the Cougars. Watch him here. Look at the coverage. Look at all the green jerseys.
Well, if you're Kannapolis, do you send everybody?
I don't know, Randy. I think you set up for the return and try and get Allison to the house because you know he can do it.
Mapp about 5 yards deep in the end zone. Pressure coming. Mapp gets it high, not particularly deep. It rolls. What's a pretty good 7-iron shot there, isn't it?
Mapp is back here asking for a flag. He did one of those Academy Award jobs as coming through, storming by him was Terry Collins, and Collins landed on the ground, and then watch it here. Watch. We saw an acting job a couple of weeks ago. Now watch Mapp here. That's pretty good.
Well,
you got to do whatever you can when you get into these big games to try and help your team.
And you never know. It might work one time.
That's exactly right. Why else try it? Every now and again, they'll throw the flag on that.
Kannapolis with great field position, as you said, Woody, at the Asheville 28-yard line. Pass out of the flat. Here's Carter trying to outrun and gets a block from Allison inside the 15-yard line. Another first down for the Wonders. Jason Inman with the tackle for the Cougars. But But a well-designed play. Get it out to Carter, and he just waited on Allison to take care of the man downfield.
Just a nice little flare out here. And look at him turn on the jets, Randy, and go upfield. And you mentioned the nice block downfield by Allison. It's easy to run out there and have the ball thrown to you a bunch, but the good ones also block.
First down, nobody in the backfield. Out of the flat, Allison. He cuts it in. Now cuts it out. Inside the 5. Touchdown. And no flags down this time, Woody.
Well, it ought to be a penalty for too many moves on one play.
That's almost illegal procedure, isn't it?
Good gracious. Can he make people miss or what? He has to come back here. Mars just going to do a little flanker screen basically out here, and Allison just skipping along, making people miss, and then gets some daylight and goes into the end zone.
A big touchdown in this game as it gives Kannapolis a 13-point lead. Now Mar to hold, Deloney with the extra point try. Keep in mind the most slippery ball here, so that might have an effect. Not this time. 4:53 remaining in the first half. It is now 21 for Kannapolis. Asheville has 7, and a Wonder kickoff is coming up. Woody, as we return to Memorial Stadium, what the Cougars didn't want to do was find themselves in a little bit of a deficit to the Wonders at home, knowing their quick strike capability, and now they weren't really cut out for them. Down 14 points here, but not panic time yet.
Certainly not, but we talked a little bit about pace, and right now the pace is to the Wonders' liking.
Trying to get some field position and hit out across the 20-yard line. It was John Weber down on the coverage.
Let's take a look at this touchdown again, Randy. Allison will go off a step or two, watch, to drive the defender, spin back, and see, we talked earlier about the cushion he was getting there, and you saw the margin. All Allison did was take one little step, and Tyrell Grant was given ground. Well, there's no way he can get there from 10 yards off of him, especially if he takes a step back first when Allison is headed away from him, and that's exactly what the Wonders want. Get Andre Allison in one-on-one matchups with people.
Danny Wilkins likes to give it to the big hit fullback out across the 25 to the 27-yard line, and you heard the crunch that time. Man, what a contact there. Tyrus Knox, there's always a crunch when that young man hits somebody.
Does he deliver it or what, man? Watch him lower his shoulder here and just look for the contact with people. You know, he tweaked that ankle and missed a couple of series there, and, you know, hadn't gotten as many carries as you might normally expect, but he is their leading rusher and has been a key cog in that offense.
They break Hines in motion now on second down. Picks up there, and lucky to get the handoff as Phillips turned around, and he and his running backs just a little too close for comfort there. Michael Bird.
I don't think that was Knox, was it? I think it was Bird.
Yeah, we'll show the ball.
Take a look.
Here.
Watch him collide. We'll take a look at it again right here. Watch him collide back here, right there. And it was Knox. Boy, now if your fullback is going to run into the quarterback, that's going to really disrupt things for you, especially a guy that big.
Well, on third down and a long 3, they got the Wonders to jump perhaps, and that'll give them the first down.
Trying to anticipate that snap count. It looked like Norris was among the first guys to cross number 77 there.
And referee Lonnie Opie makes the call, and they'll move the sticks. So a break for the Cougars, moving out to the 35-yard line.
Well, and you know Coach Massey has to hate that. You want to try and make them earn that first down. Here, they just give them a free pass. Look at 3 of them that just so happened that Norris was the first one to go across.
Here you have Big coming across the line. You can't hide, can you?
Nope.
High formation, 2 receivers to the top this time. Phillips. And they toss it. And punishing folks off the right side goes Michael Bird. Look like Collins over there along with a few guys. He's just the slasher. You got the bruiser, and now you got the slasher there. Look at this.
Bird really has some good speed, Randy, but so far the Wonders have been able to keep him bottled up to keep him from using that speed.
Did get 6 on first down, however.
We really haven't seen a lot of Hines. I think they've only tried to go to him a couple of times.
Well, that one big one got him into the 5-yard line, and they later scored. Here's the fake, and the keeper. And out to midfield goes Jordan Phillips. Daniel Brown with the tackle. He teamed up that time. Looked like Morris over there as well. Or Nars, excuse me.
May have been a little bit of a mix-up in the backfield again, a little bit of a collision back there. Check it out and let's see if they run into each other again here.
Well, it did.
No, he just faked it and kept it himself there and faked the pitch and drew the defenders off.
Something we have not seen him do much in this game.
He was intended to fake to him.
Now they go to the fullback for about 3 yards, and Knox and Andrew King say hello. There's King.
Well,
time running off the clock here.
Yeah, inside 2 minutes to go here in the first half, and this is more the pace that Asheville likes, Randy. 3, 4, 5 yards, and tonight a splash instead of a cloud of dust, but this is what they'd like the game to turn into.
A key final minute 45 in the first half. This one almost intercepted. Oh, Terry Collins. How did he not catch it? And there was nobody in front of him.
Terry was back there and read that one all the way, Randy. Look at his chops. You could just see him break on the ball as soon as it goes in the air. Got there, got his hands on it, and had clean and green in front of him, but you got to secure it first.
Asheville will call a timeout with 1:39 to talk about it. They'll have 3rd and 7.
Watch it here. Let's see if we can pick up the break on the ball by Collins.
There you see Collins.
Well, he's disappointed. He wanted some points.
He's a 5'9" senior for Kannapolis, coming over to the sidelines. He did everything but catch it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, but that's a fine play anyway, as you mentioned, to break it up, Randy. And he's just disappointed he couldn't get something more out of it. The rain continuing to come down a little bit here.
Well, if he's not there, it's a great play the other way for Asheville because there's really nobody open.
Well, the difference is that's almost a similar play to what they did with Allison, what Kannapolis did with Allison. The difference is Collins didn't get near the cushion, and so he was able to react and break on the ball.
Well, Coach Wilkins talking to his troops, and let's see what play we use here on 3rd down and 7. 1:39 remaining. You're down a couple of touchdowns. This is a big possession here to close out the half. The Wonders obviously with a little momentum. 2 unanswered touchdowns. Phillips to pass. And is it a completed pass? I said nope. And it didn't look like, Woody, that Hines was ready. He turned around late to try to catch the ball, and it was right there on him.
I think it was just a little bit behind him, Randy. He had to try to stop to come back to it. It looked like his feet may have slipped out from under him as he tried to plan and come back to it.
Yeah, you could be right. It was a little thrown behind him somewhat. Well, it puts the Cougars now on a 4th and 7. The line to make just inside the 40-yard line of the Wonders. And Asheville will call another timeout. So the Cougars know this is a key one here. 1:34 to go in the first half. We'll be back, right back. As we return, it's 4th and 7. Jordan Phillips hands to the... Who's got the football?
Randy, they're going down the sidelines.
There we go. Look at this. Jonathan Hayes, a flag is down. Hayes down at the 5-yard line. What a great fake.
The great lineman fake. You never see it, Randy. Just kept it right back to the center, I believe. Amazing. Work to perfection. What a play.
Everybody carried out their assignments, and you look up, even got our camera guy.
That was Haynes going down the sidelines, the senior at 214 pounds.
That's going to come back, though. What a great call by Coach Wilkins. That's the time to use it.
But I don't think they may still have the first down, Randy, because I think this is going to be on down the field.
There's the holding call. It will be first down, but...
Yeah, the penalty came, you can see right down close to the goal line there.
And the guys with the markers, they were waiting to see where they were told to go because you sorted out. The line of scrimmage will be the 20-yard line. Yeah, we've got a good replay, I think, and we'll show it here in a minute.
One of those where they fake it and leave it on the ground.
And it off. This time the fullback we know's got the ball, and a late flag comes into the point of tackle right at the 20-yard line. No gain for Knox.
We'll show you that play after the penalty. It's just the classic backyard play. A face mask going to be against the Wonders, and that's going to put Asheville in real good shape here. They'll snap it with the center. Ingram will, and then watch Haynes pick it up. Now, he'll just leave it on the ground. Now, watch 74, the guard, right there. See him bend over? Right here, and now he's going to take off.
He's got the ball, and everybody else is going right. And there's a couple of guys home, but, you know, we had to wait there for a second. 74.
But now, Randy, the thing I wonder was, did he have the ball at the center? Did he still have the ball while his knee was down, or was it lying beside him?
Here's Phillips going to fade, overthrown. Double coverage on Hines in the end zone. And that'll stop the clock with 50 seconds remaining in the first half.
Clark and Blackman with pretty good coverage, and they've been doubling Hines all night long, and with good reason. He's a fine player.
Leading receiver on this team.
Boy, you don't see the old classic fakes anymore, do you? Coach Massey was telling us after the headliner show last week that one time when he was coaching, somebody pulled the Statue of Liberty play on him, and it worked for a touchdown, he said, I believe.
I've been seeing a few more of these plays come out in the last couple of weeks, though, on the collegiate level as well. Here's Phillips back to pass, looking over the middle, and complete, almost picked off and almost caught for the touchdown. Brandon Butler, the intended receiver there.
Well, you had coverage from Josh Reeves, a linebacker, short, and then I think it was Blackman deep, and they kind of lose him. He gets in between them and kind of finds a seam there, and he was open, Randy. The Wonders are pretty fortunate on that one because he had some room.
3rd and 5 from the 15.
And look at this. We saw this at last week's game with McDowell at South.
I believe Kannapolis called timeout before they snapped the ball. You can see one on that last previous shot there. It looked like Robert Clark was signaling for the timeout. The Wonders did get the attention of the officials. They said, whoa, wait a minute here.
That looks real weird. You still got to have all your linemen accounted for at the line of scrimmage, but you can just split them out way far and really disrupt the defense. If they're not ready for it, they're not sure which way to go, and that's why the Wonders called that timeout. They saw something they hadn't seen and weren't quite prepared for. And boy, Coach Wilkins going deep in the playbook, isn't he?
This is a big, as I said, a big play, a big series here going into halftime.
It was Norris called the timeout when they realized what was happening to him here. Watch 77 down at the bottom of your picture. He sees, wait a minute, what's going on? Now look at him standing up. Wait, we can't do this. Boy, he barely got that timeout call in, man, and is fortunate that they gave it to him. Sometimes the officials won't give it to you when it's that close to the snap.
Norris was saying, they only got 3 guys here. I said, this is definitely unfair.
You can see him getting ready to line up and looking around and realizing, wait a minute, this doesn't look right.
And now here comes the Cougars out at a, I guess, normal set. If there's such a thing. From the eye, Phillips to the air, tosses to Hines, and he gets out of bounds. They'll have the first down. That'll stop the clock. Shannon Blackman on the coverage for the Wonders, but it will be first down and goal for the Cougars with 36 seconds to go here in the half. The ball will be placed at about the 8-yard line.
And you saw there why Hines is so dangerous, Randy. A big kid at 6'3" who can go up in the air, run defenders off of him, make a sharp, accurate cut, get himself some room, and make himself a big target out there for Phillips. That's why he's the leading receiver. They tried that play earlier on the one where it was thrown a little bit behind him.
Knox behind him. Now they'll go to the end zone, off the fingertips. The intended receiver that time was Hines, and he was trying to get down into the end line over there.
Well, Terry Collins came up and made sure he got down all right. Collins really laid the wood to him when he tipped the ball and it went in the air, and that may be another wet ball situation, but Terry Collins, number 9, watch this hit at the end. Oosh.
Well, had he caught it, could he held on?
I don't know, because Collins really brought it that time.
It'll be 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line as you see Collins, and this final minute is taking an eternity. It seems like 31 seconds to go. A quick toss at this time, and trying to get some yardage is Michael Bird, and
they got to hurry, Randy. The clock's going. The Cougars need to get back to the line of scrimmage here, and they're all tangled up.
And they're trying to, now the official will stop play.
I think Terry Collins was lying down, holding on to one of the Asheville players and wouldn't let him get up.
Well, you do that until the official says, "Come on, young man." So they did whistle it. Now the clock runs again with 11 seconds. Fade in the end zone. The leap jump ball incomplete. Hines, the intended receiver over there. Good coverage, Robert Clark. Or excuse me, yeah, it was Robert Clark. And also saw Shannon Blackman over in that vicinity as well. So it's fourth down. We're down with 5 seconds to go. The final play of the half, definitely.
Nice play, Randy, because Hines had gotten in front of Clark out there, and Robert able to come back by and get his arm between Hines' arms and pull the ball away that time. That's all they want to do is just let him turn it into a jump ball and use his height.
They're going to try the field goal here, try to get the sure thing. Clay Foster to attempt it. The kick is low, and it will be no good as the first half clock shows 3 zeros.
Wonder if that was a problem with the spot, Randy, because that thing never got more than 2 inches off the ground.
But ill-fated from the beginning. Well, I guess you could say the Wonder defense dodges an Asheville bullet as we go to halftime. 21-7, Kannapolis on top of the Cougars. We'll be right back. To Memorial Stadium halftime where the Wonders lead Asheville 21-7. Let's take a look at some numbers from the first half, Woody, and as they shake out pretty even as far as
well, I think one thing that jumps out at you is the advantage for Kannapolis on the ground there and in total yards as well. The penalties, as you mentioned, hurt them a little bit, but man, they can score from anywhere at any time, and they showed you that in the first half. We've also got some other reviewing to do for you. Early offense, well, both teams kind of got that, but then the pace kind of went Kannapolis' way as they were moving up and down the field, and those 3 and outs that Asheville was worried about started to haunt them. The weather seems like it's been a factor a little bit tonight a couple of times, Randy. We've seen some drop passes and a little bit of slipping and sliding out there, but so far, nothing major. Let's take a look now at some of the key plays in that first half, Randy, and they were fun to watch. Look at Carter go right here. Nice block, breaking tackles and finding his way into the end zone. A little bit later, going the other direction in the second quarter. Watch the top of your screen. Andre Allison here. Marr finds him. The cushion they give him is the key, and he's able to dance and skip and find his way into the end zone there.
And keep in mind, they had one called back. An Allison touchdown catch. So it was interesting. The Kannapolis speed wins out, quickness wins out in the first half over that, I guess, ball control game of the Asheville Cougars.
Speaking of skipping and hopping and making people miss, we got a special guest up here now. Here he is.
You can't recognize him because he's got a hat on. He wearing I think they had a number 20 here when you were at A.O. Brown. His name is Nick Maddox. Does that name ring a bell?
Yeah, I remember him.
Nick, how's it going, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just came back home to check out the high school, see how they were doing.
We're just glad to have you back. Looks like a family reunion here. Justin and Blair Harden are here. Did you see them while ago?
Yeah, I asked them if they want to go down there and suit up.
You haven't shaken any hands tonight, have you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
At least 20 or 30, I bet.
I told Nick it looked like his autograph signing has gotten a little bit better than it was. Of course, he had some early practice all those days, but things going great at Florida State?
Pretty good. We're having a tough year this year. We had a couple of losses that I feel like we should have pulled out, but we're young, we're learning, and we'll be better next year. But, we want to finish out this season on a good note.
Boy, and you had some guys get hurt early in the year, too, that you were really counting on, didn't you?
A couple of key guys, Anquan Bolden, Robert Morgan, Otis Duhart is one of my linemen. We just had Willie Reed, freshman, coming in, who was supposed to contribute. We just had a lot of injuries coming in.
Coach Bowden must be feeding you a lot of steaks down there. You look like you put on a little weight. What are you playing at?
I play about 10 pounds. I'm at 205 right now. 20 pounds since I left high school. You know what I mean? We're basically on the chicken thing right now. We don't do much steak.
That's right. No beef. No beef. Got to be healthy.
Well, I'll tell you what, nothing wrong with chicken. There's about 150 ways to cook that stuff. But how's your ankle doing, Nick?
It's getting better. It's about 95% right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, your 95% ankles are better than 95% of the players that are trying to catch you, I want to tell you.
That's right. Great to see Nick here.
Here's the kickoff going to the Cougars. And down at about the 3-yard line. There will be a return. Hit and turned is Brian Jones. Out to about the 24-yard line. On the coverage, Robert Clark.
Well, Nick, we haven't seen much of this rain this year. It's been dry as a bone all over. How about you guys?
No, actually we hadn't. I can't say there's too many games that I played in the rain in Tallahassee.
Nick said he comes on and does a little color analyst for us there. He might have to change his major, would he?
That's right, and I guarantee you, we'll get him up here and get him in the broadcasting realm before you know it. He'll get to liking it and not want to go home.
Well, I tell you what, you teach me the ropes, and I do what I can.
I understand you're a quick study on anything that you want to take on. After the 28-yard line goes Tyrus Knox. Boy, he's 270 pounds now. We say that's huge. That's huge even on some of your linemen down there.
Oh man, that's too big.
My goodness, it'd be fun to run behind a guy like that, wouldn't it?
Oh man, I mean, I fullback I had wasn't that small, but he wasn't that big. You know?
Probably tough to see around him.
Oh, it had to be.
With rain continuing to fall.
2nd down and 7 from the 28-yard line. Here's the line shot from the sidelines, and they'll quick toss it to the tailback. Wonders there to stuff it. And that looks like Marcus Peak in on the run that time. And a little or no gain. So once again, a 3rd down situation here coming up. You guys, 4 years ago, Nick, in the march to the state championship, you went up, and probably the coldest night they've had in North Carolina ever. You went up to Asheville, the 1st round game. That was a tough game for you guys.
Yeah, I think we all had on about 3 or 4 layers of clothes. It was real tough. I think I had a couple of phones that game. We just, real out of sync. One of the coldest games we played in.
But a win is a win.
Always.
Ball tip. Oh, here's the old hook and lateral down the sidelines. 1st down and slung out of bounds at about the 43-yard line of the Wonders is Marcus Peak. That almost didn't click. Josh Reeves made the tackle, but I tell you what, Coach Wilkins is bringing them all out here tonight. We haven't seen these plays in quite some time.
Watch Hines drive him off and then come back to the ball. The lateral right there, nice execution, and he's got room down the sidelines. Reeves was the last guy who had a shot at him.
I didn't think the pass was going to get there in time. So Asheville on a 3rd down conversion has it in the Wonder 42-yard line. Down by 2 touchdowns, try to make a statement here to start the 2nd half. They tuck it into Knox's stomach, and he'll dive for about 5, down to the 35-yard line.
Well, Nick, the center keeper in the 1st half, the weird split formation, and then you start seeing the hook and lateral. You guys got all that stuff in Coach Bowden's playbook?
We hadn't quite worked on that stuff. I thought that was great execution, the way the Hines kid came back to the ball.
That's something you could probably go a whole high school career and never see.
Never, especially with
even a whole college career.
Right, it could have been disastrous, and yet it worked anyway.
I know Coach Bowden's got that punt Rooski play he made famous a few years ago.
Right, we still got that repertoire now. We do have that.
They bring that one out this year. Phillips doesn't like what he sees, and he calls a timeout here with 9:42 to go in the 3rd period. It'll be 2nd and 4 when they break the huddle. But
boy, Nick, this year you talk about the ACC, and everybody going in thinks Florida State, and that race has turned wild, right?
I mean, I tell you, the ACC is getting tougher. I think the new coaches coming along, giving these kids, those guys, new attitude and new kind of belief in themselves. And, I mean, anytime you have that, you believe in yourself, you have a chance to win.
How's your mom?
She's fine. She's out here somewhere.
She was always the nicest lady. Spoke to us every time we ever saw her. And boy, I know you're glad to come home and eat a little turkey and see the folks, huh?
Man, just be back home in general. I hadn't been home since this summer.
Man,
been up there in Tallahassee working hard, and coming back 8 hours is sort of tough during the week,
Absolutely.
But you keep hitting those books hard, Nick, and I know you hit those linebackers hard. Here we go on 2nd down, and it is run off the right side, Michael Bird. He's 5'10", 175 pounds, only a freshman, and plays a lot larger than that. Andrew King on the tackle for the Wonders. That'll set up 3rd down. Well, things have changed a little bit. We got a different head coach than you had. You still got some of the assistants that were here, Nick, but I know you probably saw about 5,000 people tonight that you remembered when you come back home.
Yeah, I had a chance to go out and watch practice Thursday morning. Guys look real sharp out there.
Yeah, they go with a fullback, and it should get the 1st down. Now, compare Allison and Carter. Let's look at their speed compared. Now, there's no way to practice against guys like that, is it?
No, there's really not. If you look at if you look at Allison, he's a very smooth player. His speed is very deceptive. Doesn't look like he's moving fast, but he's moving real fast out there. And a guy like Carter, you can tell he's moving around pretty quickly. So I mean, they're very deceptive, but they're both good players, and their style of play is very effective.
On first down and 10 at the Wonder 31-yard line. Knox stood up. Man, they blew the whistle. Knox says a little bit maybe prematurely because he's like a tree trying to get down. My goodness.
Well, you had Keller getting there along with looked like Reeves to stack that one up, and that is a load to stack up at the line of scrimmage. But I don't think Knox is getting that push. He's got that gimpy ankle, and I don't think he's getting the push that he expected to have coming in. We mentioned he missed the last game of the regular season with an ankle injury and then tweaked it again here in the first half.
There's Allison that we were talking about on the sidelines. The Wonder offense is yet to see the ball here in the second half, which we played 4 minutes. They give it to about the 28-yard line is where they'll go. Knox trying to pick a hole, but Wonders maybe winning a little quicker up front on that line of scrimmage right now, trying to get in with some penetration. And Woody, I think you're right, that gimpy ankle, boy. Nick can tell us about that, trying to play through that.
Yeah, that kid's got a lot of heart to be out there with that ankle like that. I can imagine what he's going through right now.
Here, take a look at him again, trying to get through. Hesitate, find a seam, and just make the pile go his way. And the Wonders using a host of bodies to bring him down.
Here's a key play in this drive. Of course, I think Asheville would consider themselves in 4-down territory right now with the 28-yard line. 3rd and 6. They'll flop the tight end over. Phillips with the fake. Trying to cut it in, and who stayed home for Kannapolis?
Reeves.
Play it the way you practice it and practice it and practice it.
Well, he has had a big game, Randy. He has been all over the ball all night long tonight, and he did exactly what he wanted to do. You get Phillips out here trying to fake the pitch, but Reeves just wasn't buying it. He stayed home all the way. Look at him. He's just not going to give up on the play. Nick, that's how you draw it up there, isn't it, defensively?
Yep, that's where it's supposed to go.
Are you talking about having a down year? Ain't just something, Woody? They lose 2-3 ball games. It's a down year. You guys got them spoiled down there in town.
I tell you, man, it's just like it is here at A.O. Brown.
You get used to winning.
Yeah.
Phillips to the air on 4th and 5. Out of the pocket, pass, flags are down, and was the pass caught? There's a late flag coming in behind, and we'll sort this one out. Hines with the catch, he thinks.
Collins is out there signaling no catch, but the officials will have to huddle now and decision here. Nick, what's your prediction? Did he catch it?
Oh, no, that's a tough one to call there.
There you go. See, he's got the broadcaster's dodge down already, man.
I told you it was a quick study.
That's right.
It's one of those type plays you need that instant replay for.
That's right. Don't commit until you get another look at it. Going to be interference against the Wonders, so he's going to have it at the same spot if he had caught it or not.
Here we see the play again. Desperation. That one not tipped to look like,
that's close.
Either way, he's going to have the ball there. Well, no, they're going to say the interference was a little bit further back here and then mark it off, looks like.
And it will give Asheville the first down. Of course, in high school ball, it's not, you don't get it at the spot like you do in the NFL.
Look at that. The Wonders starting to stack up some penalties, and that'll eat you alive.
Well, the defense, if you count the last 4 minutes of the first half, and now for almost 6 minutes here, they have been on the field quite some time. Now they'll give it to Knox, and he'll bury the shoulder and kind of roll down to about the 12-yard line. He falls for about 3 yards, Nick, when they hit him.
Hey, I tell you, 270. That's something in the backfield. He's got to get you at least one.
Hey, he was only 250 a year ago, and he said, well, I need to put on some more weight if I'm going to play fullback.
Tell you what.
Those guys are, you just can't help but notice a quality fullback with that kind of size. That maybe the college scouts are already looking at their chops at that.
I tell you, I bet you that's salivating just to see him move around and the quickness that he has and lower that shoulder the way he does. It's kind of fullback you're looking for out there.
This time they'll go to the single back and push down of bounds. The line of scrimmage, we'll wait and see. Michael Bird and Terry Collins doing battle down there inside the 10-yard line. I think they can see about the 7. It'll ring up 3rd, and let's call it 4.
Boy, Nick, even though they dry the ball off between plays, it's got to be tough when this gets wet and sloppy to hang on to it here.
All right, I think the wettest game I played in was the Concord game my sophomore year down there in the Mud Bowl.
Oh my gosh, that was a monsoon.
Yeah, it really is tough to hang on to that ball. I remember one play distinctly, Tron Brown fumbled the ball and TR had to dig it out. TR Butler had to dig it out of the mud.
3rd and 4, Knox with the carry. He'll get a couple, but short of the first down. Yeah, I think you guys were just happy nobody drowned that game.
Yeah, that was a tough game to play in.
Well, let's see where they're going to give him the spot to. It looks like the officials are going to take a minute to decide here. And it looks like one of the Wonders are a little slow to get up down there. It looks like Dwayne McClure, the linebacker, a little slow to get up. He's limping as he comes up now.
So they'll come out. Looks like one of the trainers is going to come out and talk to Mr. McClure and see if he's able to continue. I think they may just have to, they'll have to sit out at least one play here as they'll take him to the sidelines. He's, the good news is he's walking under his own power.
Boy, I don't know if you can call that walking or not, but man, hopefully he's going to be okay.
He's moving. He's moving.
Boy, look at that coming down. We need it, but I wish it would have waited another hour or so before it came.
So it'll be 4th down. They need a long 3, Woody. The ball between the 6 and 7-yard line, we'll call it. This is a key play in this game because Asheville does need to get some points to get back in this game. Phillips will play down, and somebody new to the right side of the offensive line, Matt Howe. Matt with, you talk about big, Nick, 6'1", 287. He can't hide out there when he moves off that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I was looking at those guys before the game, and I can't say Asheville was quite that big when I played here.
You're kind of glad you're in college now. You didn't see these size guys.
I tell you what, man.
Boy, he just didn't get the count and came off the ball. He's the only guy out here who's bigger than Knox, the fullback. Now that's something. Only one lineman for either team bigger than him.
Boy, that was a mental mistake and a killer, perhaps, in this drive. We'll just have to wait and see how it shakes out. They move it back to the 12-yard line, and that'll give it 4th down and 9.
All right, looks like you going to call timeout?
I think Asheville's going to call timeout to see what other kind of trick play they've got. 4:52 to go, the 3rd period here at Memorial Stadium. Wonders up by 14. Welcome back. We're trying to do some homework here as we come back. The Cougars need some points out of this drive. Woody, you figured the last 4 minutes of the first half. Now they've had it over 7 minutes. So that's almost a quarter.
And this is exactly the kind of game they wanted. We talked about pace. This is exactly what they wanted, but a huge, huge play here for both teams.
Twin sets. Phillips with a play fake. Backside pressure, and he'll go down. Let's see who got him for the Wonders. It looked like Josh Reeves came in untouched and got him at the 15, 16-yard line.
Reeves, the linebacker, Randy, coming from the blitz from the backside, and Phillips never saw him.
Hey, we want to thank, he had to go, Nick Maddox, former A.L. Brown High School All-America, and now a junior at Florida State University. Super young man, and thanks for him he'll come back a couple of years, take our job.
Boy, that's one of the nicest young men you'll ever want to meet right there.
Exactly. I asked him, I said, you on the dean's list, doing good school? He says, oh yeah.
Yeah, like that's a foregone conclusion, man.
Education first. You got Edwards in at quarterback. He pitches to Carter, and he'll get about 2 yards. So first time we've seen Maurice Edwards, maybe a little bit more of an option threat here, as the Wonders might be trying to get it with more of a ground game with the rain, Woody.
Well, you got a 2-touchdown lead in a sloppy field, and you may not want to be putting the ball in the air. I'm looking to see if I can spot Marr to see if he's okay or being attended to or anything, and I don't see him yet.
That's the first time the Wonder offense has been on the field since the 4+ minute mark of the second period. Out of the shotgun, Edwards with the fake will run it. Up the middle, tripped up short of the first down. He'll be just shy, I believe.
Boy, and you're right. That's the dimension that Edwards gives him, Randy. He comes back, fakes the pass. Just a quarterback draw right up the middle here. Finds some room. Nice game.
And it will be enough for the first down.
I see Drew Marr standing on the sidelines, Randy, with his helmet in his hands. He looks like he's okay. He's standing over by the coaches, so this must just be a decision to, as you said, keep things on the ground.
As we're inside 3:45 left, third period. He spins. Edwards will keep it, cuts it upfield, trying to get loose, and whoa, he got popped at about the 31-yard line. Coming in was Anthony Lynch. They got him listed at 199, but let's go ahead and say 200 pounds, okay?
Okay.
Anthony's 200 pounds.
All right, I'm with you. Well, by the time you get all the pads and stuff on, he's even more than that.
Yeah, he's big.
He brings at least a 200-pound load when he comes after you. The Wonders right now, Randy, with that lead, just want to keep the chains moving, keep the clock running, and keep the ball away from Asheville. There's Drew Marr. He looks like he's okay.
Edwards getting some reps here as he'll quick toss it. Carter trying to get away. He does. Now reverses his field. What a block. Around the corner. And out of bounds. And is there any flags down? Boy, I tell you what, on a play like that, you might see about 3 or 4.
Well, you had a great job there. Looked like maybe it was Bird, I think, coming through. And he just fought through the block and pushed the blocker back into Carter. And then Chris had enough speed to completely turn it around to the other side of the field.
And he's got great balance anyway, we understand, or we've seen.
Looks like they took out one of the coaches over there.
Unnecessary roughness on one of the coaches on the sidelines. Well, he got out to the 36, 37-yard line, so out of all of that,
I can't believe that. He was stopped cold, wasn't he?
yeah, for a loss. So it's going to be 3rd and 1.
Charlie Fox in now. He'll be at the bottom of the screen wearing number 10.
Allison to the top. They fake the blitz. Edwards drops it. The ball's still loose, and Kannapolis, I believe Edwards did fall on it. He was about the only guy I knew it was loose there for a while. Came back from center, and maybe the element starting to play an effect here in this game.
Yeah, it acted like it had axle grease on it that time because Maurice tried a couple of times to pick it up.
And he actually gained a little bit out of the fumble, it looks like, and it's going to be close enough, I think.
Are they going to go?
Well, it's going to be 4th down and a couple of inches, and they're sending Daniel Smith in, the punter.
Well, you know, Randy, and they're going to measure
it, just
but
to make sure.
in a 2-touchdown game, you don't want to take a chance on something weird happening with a wet ball and giving Asheville a chance to make this a 1-touchdown game. Now, they might try to fake it and draw them off sides. I mean, not a fake punt, but just try to long count and see if they can draw them off sides, but we'll see.
A fake? Does teams run fakes anymore?
We've seen a lot this year, haven't we?
Man, oh man. That's a couple of people at halftime says, wow, I want to see that.
No, they are going.
They're saying we can get the length of the football. Let's see. We got Carter out there. Now he's going to split out in a slot. Out of the shotgun, this is Edwards. Now he's going to, remember they're going to try to draw him off sides.
It took too much time, I think. Nope.
Well, there's 4 seconds left on the play clock.
Illegal procedure. One of the Wonders moved, and you could see the center that time kind of bobbing his head a little bit there and kind of flinching to see if he could make the Cougars jump off sides, and they wouldn't go for it.
I think they said he flinched a little too. Allowed some flinching, but that was excessive in the official's eyes. So the Wonders will definitely have a punting unit on right now. As Smith is in. He'll kick it from about the 20-yard line. With 2:11 left in the 3rd period. The score as it was at halftime, 21-7, in favor of A.L. Brown. Let's see if the Cougars put the rush on. Nope. Kicked away. Phillips will get out of the way, and it'll roll dead at the Asheville 26-yard line.
And you want to talk about hustling now, doing everything. Josh Reeves, who's been making tackles all night, flying all over the field, also the first guy down on special teams to down that ball.
So the Asheville offense, which has really pretty much controlled the game offensively, they just have come away with no points.
Well, they've had 2 sustained drives and came away empty-handed.
You don't get many opportunities. You have to make the most of them. Let's see if the Cougars can do it this time. Phillips will toss it this time. They'll sweep left. Wow. Out to about the 29-yard line is the bruising running of Tyrus Knox.
Terry Collins gets up a little bit slowly now, trying to stretch out a cramp, maybe it looks like. But they had all the receivers down on that left side, Randy, 3 of them, trying to lead the way for Knox there. And he finds a little seam and just tries to blast through people. And you see Collins there trying to work out that, looks like a little bit of a cramp there he's got.
Gain of 3 on the play, out to the 29-yard line. Phillips, sideline, wide open is Brandon Freeman, and it's a foot race. Can they catch him? Freeman will score.
My goodness, Randy, that almost looked like that deal with the onside kick at South Moran last week. Where'd he come from?
Nobody picked him up as he was able to sneak behind the coverage. Brandon Freeman, the 5'6" junior.
They didn't know he was out there. They never went out there after him.
So the 2 biggest offensive plays of the night have come through the air on a team that's known for it. The Kannapolis coaches give their defense.
No, I think they're mad at the officials, Randy. I think they believe that that was an illegal play, the way they're reacting. They're really hot down there.
We got a chance that you said, where did he come from? Well, we'll have to look at it again.
You know, last week on that onside kick at South Moran, we saw the guy kind of hiding, and Coach Van Hoy told us he had his arms folded across his chest standing there, and everybody on the sidelines did the same thing. The key is he's got to come out of the huddle. He can't come off the sidelines after the huddle is broken, so we'll have to take a look and see if we can figure out where he came from.
Same play that beat Concord 2 years ago. We understand. Here's the kick. It's up and good by Clay Foster. And now Asheville has drawn to within 7. 21-14 with 1:01 to go in the third quarter. We watch the play again. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium on a 71-yard touchdown pass from Phillips to Freeman.
And the coaches from Kannapolis were really out there giving it to the officials during that timeout. They are all upset.
We'll look at it again after the kickoff to see if we can pick up anything. Their statement is you got to get into the huddle report. I don't think you have to go to the huddle. I think you have to go a certain amount on the field. And
right.
It looked interesting, at least. So we have got a game now. As Foster ready to kick it off. And it's going deep. Allison will have a return at the 16-yard line. Skips one guy to the left, outruns another, jukes another, and will get out of bounds. Nifty return out to the 40-yard line.
One of the Wonders a little slow to get up. Let's take a look at that play and see if we can figure out where Freeman came from. Here's the huddle. Only 10 guys there, it looks like here now.
10 players are in the huddle. And there comes the...
All right,
okay.
All right, now watch. He will not go all the way. Freeman will just stop. And nobody went with him. They just assumed he was going to go off. Wow. And then wide open.
There he is. Well, the cameras don't lie, do they?
And Marr back in at quarterback now for the Wonders,
who have it at their own 40-yard line. Final minute of the third period. There you go with Rock Johnson, and he's rumbling out to about the 44.
Well, Rock looking kind of nimble on that play, wasn't he? Dancing around
got
through
some
there.
Tiptoes there I didn't know he had.
Yeah, he made a nice little move. Tell you what, you don't see a fullback dancing around like that very often.
And Rock, we're affectionately kidding. I don't want the Rock to get a hold of me.
No, that's a compliment, man. Rock is playing hard and playing well.
He's the lone setback back there on second down. They go and hit. Incomplete. Bickerstaff was the intended receiver and got his bell rung. Phillips with a pretty good hit on the backside.
Ball just a little bit high as he was trying to set up out there.
3rd and 7.
Well, all of a sudden, this one has changed dramatically. Right now, Asheville has a lot of momentum. You see the pass a little bit high, and the fans thinking that was a little bit excessive, but no flag forthcoming.
3rd down and 7 for Kannapolis at their own 43-yard line.
And I think think somebody in the line moved again for Kannapolis, Randy.
That will be illegal procedure as referee Lonnie Oakley will make the call. And that'll push Kannapolis back 5 more as Asheville starting to get a little momentum built back. Their fans getting excited. Their players.
Obviously, Drew Marr pretty upset. He's giving it to his players. You can see, you couldn't quite tell there, but he knew what it was right away.
There's the time left in the 3rd period. Long way from over. 3rd and 12. They need to get to midfield. Play fake. Pressure. They'll dump it out. Overthrown. Trying to hit Carter out of the backfield. Chris a little upset he didn't catch that one, but that tough pass to handle.
You had Ricky Tolbert, the defensive end, coming through that time, and they want to just lob it over his head and get Carter on that little screen, but again, the ball thrown a little bit high.
So the Cougars will get the ball back as Morrow obviously a little upset. He's unable to complete the pass, and now Daniel Smith will come in. Nice kick. Phillips signals for the fair catch, gets away from it. It takes a wonder roll this time and will be blown dead around the 17-yard line.
Just a great kick, Randy, and that's why he didn't make the fair catch. He couldn't get there.
We've got a timeout as the 3rd period has come to an end. Kannapolis leading Asheville 21-14. Well, this is from our helmet cam on the sidelines.
We bring out all the gadgets in the playoffs, don't we? Look at that. Junior intern Rob. Oh, he's senior intern now. Rob's stuck down there with that helmet. He'll run up to a player and say, give me that.
He's also moved up to the camouflage gear. That means you made it.
That's right.
Asheville carrying folks out across the 20 to about the 23-yard line goes Marcus Peak, who has been very productive when he's carried tonight.
And this game, Randy, looked like it was sailing along Kannapolis' way, and nice work on the offensive line by the Cougars to give Peak some room there, but everything was sailing right along the Wonders' way. Asheville comes out with that long drive and then is denied, and it looks like, okay, things are going to settle in. Suddenly, they're right back in it.
2nd and 4. Tyrus Knox ran over somebody.
His own man.
I wondered, boy, they better check his feelings.
He did. It was Britt Amos, 242 pounds, one of the offensive linemen, and Knox just lowered his shoulder. I don't care. I'm going to hit somebody. Look, that's his own guy.
Good gracious. Take no prisoners, Tyrus.
If you're in the way, you're in the way.
Come on, Tyrus. The guys with the white jerseys are on our side, right?
My goodness.
1st and 10. He got it up for the first out to the 28-yard line. 11 minutes to go in regulation. Phillips handing off to his tailback. Pete will go for about 3 as they unstack. Looks like Dwayne McClure, one of the linebackers there.
Watch McClure come through, number 11, right here. Reeves fights off a block and turns him back inside, and McClure is there to finish the play. Man, is it coming down now.
Starting to pepper down a little bit pretty good here. This could definitely make for some slippery ball handling conditions. McClure, you might remember, was injured early in the first half, came off, but looks like he's back full speed. 2nd and 6. Pete trying to get outside, and Josh Reeves, who has just been all over the place tonight for the Wonder defense.
He is just having a large game. Look at him just storming through here from behind and slamming Pete down. I'm telling you, that kid is playing his heart out tonight.
And Pete's not an easy guy to get down. And he had a pretty good head of steam heading to the outside.
We talked about the weather maybe becoming a factor, Randy, as it continues to rain harder. You saw Marr off the mark a little bit on his last couple of passes. You're starting to see guys slipping and sliding around a little bit more as Asheville wants a timeout here, but I think the weather is definitely becoming more and more of a factor now.
9:37 to go in the 4th period. 7-point game here at A.L. Brown and Kannapolis. 3rd down and 8. They go on the reverse. Here is Freeman. Well, they go with another reverse. Hines will be stopped. And
That's going to be grounding, doesn't it?
oh, yeah, they'll definitely lose the down on that. It was a 3rd down play, and that got a little wild there for a minute. I knew when Coach Wilkins called timeout, we were going to see another one out of that playbook over there.
I was going to say, we talked, they're not going to throw the flag. We talked about Coach Wilkins going deep into playbook, Randy. That was going to be a double reverse flanker pass. Are you kidding me?
Hey, why not?
That wouldn't even fit in the playbook.
They're going to bring it back to the line of scrimmage and say it was incompleted pass.
And I think he may have been in the grasp, and that could easily have been grounding. But the Wonders did a great job of staying home. Look, 1, 2,
Here's the other
3.
Now he's going to throw it.
And guess who's all over him? Reeves. I don't know. That looks to me like just throwing it away. Give some credit as well to Shannon Davis coming up there from the linebacker spot to help on that play.
Asheville will punt it away. And they try to kick it away from Allison. He won't get away from the football this time. It was going to be touched, though. Looked like Jordan Phillips down there. He got a hand on it at about the Wonder 43-yard line. Well, the Kannapolis homestanding fans are
They're
starting to
huddling.
make some noise here, it looks like.
The defense is down there huddling around the coaches now.
Coach Wilkins applauding his Cougars' efforts.
And the Wonder offense comes out now.
Let's see, we go reverse, reverse, reverse.
Trying to pass.
Flanker pass, okay. Marr will be in at quarterback. Edwards is the slot, and he will go in motion, and we'll get the pitch. They're coming left, trying to get outside. Edwards tripped up. They got a jersey, and they'll get him this time at the 38-yard line for the loss.
Boy, just excellent pursuit that time. You see Williams there. He was about the first guy there for the Asheville team, and they had great pursuit, Randy, to seal off that little pitch. Watch him here. Everybody in a white jersey just flowing toward the ball. Looked like the guy who really busted the play up was Lynch.
Yeah, Anthony Lynch, give him credit. He really caused a lot of disturbances back there and enabled to help to arrive. Here's Marr to the air, out in the flat. Allison sidesteps one guy and will go forward to about the 46-yard line. The Wonders will still be short of the first down and to bring up 3rd and long with 8.5 minutes to go, the clock running.
Allison beats anything I've ever seen, Randy, at hopping backwards for 3 yards and using it to gain 7.
Can't catch him.
That's why you never think the guy's just going to jump straight backwards, and when he does, people grasp at air.
Let's see what they do this time. They will split Allison wide to the bottom of your screen. Fox, I think the receiver to the top. Edwards in the slot to work it from the shotgun. Mott draws him in, and they'll just keep it. You don't want to risk a turnover with pressure coming. That time, Michael Bird got the sack at the 39-yard line.
He just comes on the blitz from the left or the right side of that Wonder line. Look at here, and Marr just hardly had time to get his feet set. Also in there was Darius Ingram.
Daniel Smith into punt.
Well, suddenly the Wonder offense has ground to a halt here, hasn't it?
Credit that Cougar defense making those adjustments. Of course, the Wonder offense has not had it a lot here in the second half. I think that's only their 3rd series. Oh, almost blocked. What a high kick. It hits and will go out of bounds at the 37-yard line of Asheville. One of the Cougars almost got through there and made it a little close.
Yeah, everybody was kind of hollering, hoping that they would get an acting job. Take a look at it again here, and I think a lot of the folks wanted Daniel Smith to do an acting job as he sails by. Looked like the guy who came through and almost got there was McElreath.
Daniel was looking at how high that thing. He got it up in the lights. It's a good kick. Hines will split to the far side of the field. On 1st down, play option out around the left side. Here goes Pete, hitting a few folks and will gain about 8 yards. Shannon Blackman on the stop for the Wonders.
This thing has turned into a defensive war all of a sudden, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Look at this. There's the pitch, and they drew 2 defenders toward Phillips, and that enabled Pete to have room to get around the end.
And you saw that burst of speed out to the 45-yard line. 2nd down, and a short one. Wells, the fullback. I don't know if he got it or not. He was hit right at the line of scrimmage.
They got him low, and I think Keller may have been the first guy there to get him. We haven't called Chad's name a lot tonight, but he generally is in on several plays tonight. And I think he was the one that knocked Knox off his pins that time.
Tyrus Knox, you know, it's third down and about a foot and a half. I believe he's going to get it again.
There's Chad. We were talking about number 79 there. He went low, and Knox tried to step over him, and Keller said, "Oh no, we'll be staying right here."
6 minutes to go. Clock running. Fourth period. 7-point game.
Look at this.
Power eye. Knox will get it, hit, but he does get forward. Out to the 48-yard line. He'll have the first down. Running behind Matt Howe, the 287-pounder.
McClure, the first guy there, the linebacker.
And
He hit Knox.
Knox is limping a little bit. He is, as Nick Maddox said back at the start of the second half, that ankle don't get no better when you continue to play on it, and he's going to have to come out.
And there's Coach Massey looking from up high, Randy. And we talked about pace, and the pace is definitely in the Cougars' favor now.
Fullback breaking outside. Here goes Clay Foster. Down to the Wonder. 38-yard line. Robert Clark got him. Or he'd had more.
He really did break through, Randy. Watch him here. Just nice work up front. It looked to me, Randy, like Britt Amos looked like Britt Amos blocked two guys that time.
Apologies, that was Jermaine Williams carrying the ball. Well, Asheville looks like they're in sync here offensively now. Just pounded it here out of the eye. Phillips with a quick snap, keeps it, and we'll turn it upfield. They'll get him from behind, but not before he gets inside the Wonder 30-yard line. Andrew King on the tackle for Kannapolis at the 29. Well, inside 5 minutes left.
The Wonders did a better job that time of not having both of them go after Phillips, but he was able to find a seam here. Look.
And it's coming down to the end, Woody. It looks like it's all classic ending here in this game.
Boy, it always seems to...
The first round in the playoffs,
they're always
you just
weird.
don't know what's going to happen. I guarantee it.
I mean, it really looked like Kannapolis was in complete control of this game in Asheville. With that, I think that sparked them. Even though they didn't get points, that drive to open the second half showed them they could move the ball.
On 2nd and 2, it'll be Williams off the middle, and he'll have the first down to about the Wonder 25-yard line. Actually, nothing against Tyrus Knox, but the addition of Jermaine Williams, 100% ankles out there, that's got to help their offensive attack.
And he's the guy we agreed that's 200 pounds in the first half, and it's like Norris finally gets him down at the end. But you see the difference that he can move, he can push hard off both legs, and Knox
got those fresh legs in there too. Yeah. Here we go on. Phillips hemmed in, and the Wonders contained the option that time.
Boy, what a great play. I think it was Shannon Davis who got there and turned the play back toward the middle of the linebacker. He penetrates, stops, and forces Phillips to go back to the middle when he wanted the end. Look, right there. Even though he didn't make the tackle, Shannon Davis, give him credit for busting that play up.
And Jordan Phillips doing a very smart thing. Held on to the football. He knew he was going to get hit.
There's Davis, 198-pound senior. Or we agreed that if they're that close, they're 200, right?
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Give that extra point. We're grading on a curve tonight.
Put some change in his pockets, and he'll be 200. Couple rocks.
2nd and 11. And let's see, about 4 yards that time. Rolling across the pile, Jermaine Williams. We'll see where the progress is. Down to the 21-yard line. Brings up 3rd down.
Look at him here. Boy, they're just doing some great work. The Asheville team is on the left side of that line, opening up nice gaps repeatedly over there for the fullback, whichever one they use to run through.
4 down territory, Woody, as we have 3 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the 4th period. Welcome back. The clock running now. And I'm not sure there was a timeout. Okay.
I think maybe they were just trying to get a dry ball out there, Randy.
Okay, so they better get up on the line, and they do quickly. The Wonders stop them short of the first down. What a hit with a delay of game there if they didn't get the playoff. Chad Keller came in to make the stop.
He really did, Randy. Just come in from the top and bust him right off his pins.
Well, here's the setup here. 4th down. And about 5.5 yards. The ball at the 20. 2 minutes. Now, 10 seconds to go in regulation. This is the game for Asheville. Basically, got to get a first down. Phillips, straight drop, pressure on the screen. Gets it to his man. Here, around the right side is Michael Bird, and he'll be stopped. And short of the first down, Josh Reeves with the tackle at the 18-yard line, Woody.
Boy, we've called his name all night long, and we'll call it one more time. Josh Reeves may have just saved the game for his team right there.
The screen was perfectly set up. Michael Bird just could not get the corner turn. We watch it again.
Watch here. Watch Norris right in the middle. Right here. He can't get him. And right here he makes one man miss, but not Reeves. Reeves has just played his heart out tonight. He has played a great game. Look at it again. Set up the screen beautifully here. Lob it over the guys rushing in. Norris can't get it, but Reeves does. And got some nice help there as well from Terry Collins.
The Wonders now have to hold on to the football, Woody. 1:55 left, and the game is theirs. Well, they'll give it this time and run it to the 20-yard line. Keeping it on the ground.
Now, I think, hasn't Asheville used one of their timeouts?
They've used 2 in the second half. They're not attempting to stop it. It'll be 2nd down.
And you can bet Drew Marr could see that time clock at the end of the end zone there, right in front of him, so he knows he wants to run it down as far as he can before he snaps it.
And definitely an advantage because not a lot of high school stadiums have the play clocks. Here we go. And inside, outside, and almost getting away is Maurice Edwards. Hey, he's still on his feet. Are you kidding me? They never did blow the whistle, Woody.
No, I thought he was headed out of bounds too.
Well, we lost him down there. His teammates on the sideline.
So the first guy there was Edmond, the defensive back, and Edwards just gets away from him. Watch 28 come up here and hit Maurice Edwards. And Edwards will keep fighting. You saw 23 go down there. Watch him get in at the end. And Maurice tiptoed the tightrope and stays in. And that's even more important, Randy, because he keeps the clock moving.
Maurice trying to make a statement. He'll come out with now 45 seconds to go. I don't think Asheville can stop the clock. We may have missed a timeout here. Fullback, Rock Johnson. But he just wants to hold on to the football. Asheville wants to strip it.
And they think
that might be it.
I was going to say, Rock Johnson is acting like they have the game won, and the time is ticking down, and there's not going to be another snap. They won't have to again.
What do the coaches say? You survive and go to the next round, and that's a classic case tonight. Kannapolis survives over the Asheville Cougars in the first round of the playoffs here in the 3A West, and they will meet the winner of the East Randolph-Franklin game next week. If it is Eastern Randolph, that game will be here at Memorial Stadium. If it's Franklin, we'll see. We're going to leave right now. That's a 4.5-hour drive. That's way, way west. Congratulations to the Wonders. 21-14, our final score. Back with some post-game interviews, comments, and some numbers to look at after this. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Just a few minutes ago at the conclusion of the game, that, of course, Ron Massey consoling Danny Wilkins, and Coach Wilkins congratulating Coach Massey. They look like they're pretty much mentally exhausted, and it was that type of game, 21-14, and now let's go field side. Here is Coach Massey.
Okay, thanks, Randy. Well, Coach Massey, survive and advance is what it's all about, isn't it?
Well, that's what I told the kids. We wasn't real pretty in the second half. A lot of credit our defense. They caught us on a couple trick plays, and that's credit to them. Asheville's a very good football team. They came out here ready to play. We had a bunch of penalties. We had a bunch of mental mistakes. but we won, and that's all it's about. It's about advancing in the playoffs, and unfortunately, we don't have to put our equipment up this week, and we get to move on.
Well, it looked like you guys were well in control there, and they have a nice drive on you to start the second half. You keep them out of the end zone, but then all of a sudden they're right back in it, and it's a tight game.
Yeah, we made a lot of mistakes. We had some mental mistakes offensively, and some of the things we were doing, and I was real disappointed in that. But we'll get better, and we'll keep working at it. We had a sack tonight for the first time in I don't know how long, and we worked extremely hard on that in practice, so we got to go back and work on that again. But give credit to Asheville. They came out ready to play, I mean, everybody that's in here right now is a good football team. And, like I said, we're just fortunate to get out of here. A lot of credit to our kids. Our defense still had a great stop down here when we had to stop them, when they had the momentum going a couple times. We were able to keep them out of the end zone. So I think, big credit in the first half and in the second half down there.
Well, yeah, of course, Allison and Carter had spectacular plays. It's almost a foregone conclusion to say that at least once a game, but we really thought one guy who played his guts out tonight was Josh Reeves on that defense. He was flying all over the place.
Well, anybody that's followed us all year knows he's done a great job all year doing that, and he made some big plays tonight. And he's a competitor as our whole defense has, and they've. I thought they did a great job tonight. You take away those two big plays that they had on the hook and ladder and then the sideline pass the second half, and I thought we did a great job with them defensively.
Well, Coach, thanks a lot for taking the time, and congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, Randy, let's go back up to you for a look at those final numbers.
Okay, Coach Massey, I hope you don't have to wait 2 weeks before he has to play again. He had to sleep well tonight. There you see the advantage in first downs. Of course, Asheville able really to control the entire second half as far as their ball control offense. Rushing almost identical, passing, but as Coach Massey said, this one counts on the scoreboard, and the Wonders building that lead to 14 and then holding them out of the end zone and winning it by 7 tonight. So Kannapolis will advance next week, and we hope you will join us for Headliners. We will be in our studios live at 8 o'clock. We'll have Coach Massey along with some of the other survivors, if there are any, for our Game of the Week coverage. Thanks for being with us. For Woody Kane, Steve Gann, I'm Randy Whitley, and everyone here at Metro Channel 7, thanks for being with us.